Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Hustle and Grind. So this is a podcast where we bring our change makers, decision makers, people that are doing things that are shaping our very existence. My name is DJ Keep Classic Santantangi Chilebe, coming to you live from Afrozam Studios right here in Luansha. And on today's episode, I've got somebody who needs no introduction. This is a man that has been in Luansha for a couple of years. He came in Luansha, has been a member of the community, has changed the game, has seen Luansha change. Is an entrepreneur, is somebody that is running a business here in Luansha and is just part of the community. So without further ado, let me bring my guest on the podcast today. His name is Mr. Kutasha. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, KIP.
It's nice to have you here, man.
Nice to be here, bro.
So it's been, introduce yourself, let people know who's Kutasha.
Kutasha. I think Kutasha is popularly known as Zero, first of all.
Why do they call you Zero?
Zero. It's actually started some time back when...
How did the name come by?
That's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it started quite a long time ago when I started doing business, and I had to get myself a brand that could easily be recognized by people and easily known. When you say Zero, it's something that someone can easily catch and...
Now people, it will be easy for people to relate.
Yeah, and it means exactly how it sounds. It's a thing where I'm there and not there at the same time,
So now Zero.
Yeah.
How you came to Luansha is you came here as a student.
Yeah.
And then during your stay here, you decided to keep living here in Luansha. How's been your stay so far?
I think it's been good. I've really not had a lot of issues around.
What has been your biggest challenge so far, living in town like Luansha?
The biggest challenge, I think, is the customer. When it comes to business, Luansha is really hard when it comes to business, as we all know. But the thing that you just have to be is consistent. I think consistency is the key to business.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when it comes to Luansha, I think you have to be really consistent because you're trying to gather up a group of customers and, you have to make them regular. So you have to be consistent with what you're doing, actually.
The name of our podcast is Hustle and Grind. You are one of the hardest working people that I know. I've known you for I think since 2021. This 2024, I've known you for the last 3 years. I've seen you hustle, I've seen you move around. What prompted you not to pursue a formal job after you got you graduated from TVTC? Why didn't you go down the route of why did you decide to say, I'm going to go the entrepreneurial way?
Okay, I would say I had those plans of going for a formal job.
Yeah.
Like being employed formally and all that. But it all changed when I had no opportunity, You apply and...
Things are not going the way you want them to be.
Apply, you're not picked. At the end of the day, you're going to decide on what you're going to do next. Because when things are not happening, you're definitely going to look for solutions and, change something about your life. So I was just prompted to say, okay, let me do something that would, at least improve on what I'm doing and what I would want to do next. Yeah.
Our viewers might be wondering, what type of business do you do?
2 different types of business. I'm a general dealer, per se. You'd find me advertising a car,
Kaplot somewhere.
Yeah, kaplot. Someone comes
You've got a barber shop?
Yeah, I've got the barber shop running right in town. You'd find me doing that. Plus many more other businesses that, come around town. Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge so far?
They say my biggest challenge has been the location.
Okay, what do you mean location?
When I say location, I think I mean where I'm found.
What's the problem with your current location?
It's a bit of, I would say, it's a slow place. According to what I thought it would be.
It has not lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, not up to my expectations per se. So I would want per se to move to a different place. But for you to move,
you need to have the finances and you have to have the place to move to. One thing, the hardest challenge in Luansha is finding a prime location to rent and run your business from. That is one of the biggest challenges that I've faced in Luansha, because when you look at town center, there are a limited number of buildings. It's not like people are building new buildings. And Indians.
So I think that's the hard part. when you decide to move out, you're obviously going to start looking for the same things that you want in this same place where you are. Like, you have to start over. You're going to start looking for customers. You're going to start looking for everything. Just has to start over. So that same issue of starting over again is what.
But you know, sometimes the best you can do is start over again. You have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, there reaches a point where you can start over.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes it doesn't really have to be you starting over. It just has to take you to make some improvements.
Readapt.
Readapt.
For lack of a better word, you readapt and you
readapt.
reinvent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you've been in Luansha.
Mm-hmm.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Let's talk about relationships, man.
Yeah.
How do you balance your relationship life and your hustle?
Mostly, I do take time to check out my relationship and.
Are you
all
dating?
That. Yeah, I am.
How is it going? How is it
That's
going?
kind of a hard question to answer.
No, man, but you have to be. That's what I'm grind, bruv. You have to be like telling the truth. How is it going? How is it going for a person? Because you and me are almost the same age.
Yeah, man.
We're in our 30s, like our early 30s. Yeah. Is it as easy as it was when you're in your 20s, being and somebody in their early 30s and still dating, not married, not settled down?
I would say it's easy and it's hard.
Okay, differentiate the two.
How
is it easy and how is it hard?
Yeah, I'll start with the hard part. The hard part of this is when you're in a relationship, you know, there are certain standards that you have to keep up with.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that really matter. I would say really matter.
Yeah, man.
So I think it's kind of hard to maintain a relationship and a business because both need attention. A whole lot of attention, man.
And they both need money.
Yeah, both need money.
For the business to work, you need money. For your woman to be loyal,
you need money
love you,
and time.
Basically.
Because you are the one of the people that I'm found with. You're complaining, bro, my girlfriend needs to see me, and same thing happens.
And this is where the challenge is.
Yeah,
I don't understand women sometimes. So I'm always going to have time for my woman. I'm always going to be available. You will not have time to work. So if you have the time and you don't have the resources to make that time that you're spending with her worthwhile, she's going to leave you.
She's going to leave.
But it's also a problem. So I don't, like, for me, the hardest part has been, how do you strike a balance where you have time to work, but you also have time for your woman so that you can have a good time? Because when the whole day seated with a woman and you don't have, there's no money, you're always complaining. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
So now how do you strike a balance?
I think this time around it's much easier with there's social media, so you can keep up.
Don't you think social media has made it worse?
It has made it worse, but
in the sense that
there's an advantage.
Do you know the funny thing about social media?
Yeah,
it has given women unrealistic expectations from men.
That's true. But I wanted to say, when it comes to managing that time, like the way you asked, on some occasions, we just have to like communicate through social media until it reaches a point where we can meet and have that time, and fulfill that thing that you want to be fulfilled at the end of the day. So I think it's really about making time, because if you really want something, you are going to make time for that.
What is your definition of a good woman?
A good woman, I think first of all, it has to be a person that understands, because you know where we are in the hustle. The times when you
the hustle is
when
wild,
you don't really have
the hustle
to.
is wild. Lie to you.
Yeah, man. The times when you don't go home. Yeah. The times when you don't go home. Like
I remember on Monday, I knocked over 20 hours from the studio.
Yeah.
And then I went to Kitwe. And then when I reached Kitwe, I had to proceed to go to Mufrila and then go to Stories and then come back. So I spent 2 days without sleeping, without bathing, because I didn't think I was going to take that long. That's what you got to do to be a man.
That's the part that I said. You can obviously make use of social media. You can take like 5-10 minutes on a video call. You just give the assurance to your person to say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then
what's your take on those women that want you to report where you are? Do you think a man needs to be reporting to his woman? Like, mwachia kwisa. Nista muntu mini ne phone. Na buida, muri kwisa.
I think for me it's necessary to report.
Okay, doesn't that make you a Kembo?
No. It doesn't really make you a Kembo, bro. If you're going to be honest to your partner, you're going to give her the right information that she's going to ask from you.
So it's okay for a woman to be asking your whereabouts. Like it's okay for a man to be checking into his woman to say, baby, paso tu nabaga india ndiru so o apano na fuma panganda o kabien kuanda na wela. Like, do you think it's necessary?
Okay, for me, I'm that kind of person that would, like it like that. Like, I want my woman to be checking up on me, like, what you doing, who are you with? That's okay for me, because
for me, I have a problem.
Yeah,
I'm too independent. I hate people telling me what to do, man. I think that's what.
It's not really about telling you what to do.
That's how I feel.
But I think,
look, sometimes there was a time I went out with my friends. We were out at the club.
Mm-hmm.
Because me, I look at myself. I've been living on my own for such a long time that I know I'm responsible. I know what I need to do.
Yes.
I don't want you to tell me what I know.
Yeah, man.
But it's obvious. So I'm at the club with my friends. My phone rings. My baby's calling. I pick. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, hey, what time? Like, my lunch time. I'm like, yeah, I'm with my friends. We're chilling, we're drinking. I'll go home. And then my phone was a bit low, and I was wearing like short shorts. I was in the club with shorts. Launcher is my town. I can go into the club with shorts and a vest. Nobody's gonna say anything. Yeah, I'm a big boy here. Man. Like you can't do that in my town, but me, it's my town, bruv. So I'm in the club. I'm wearing short shorts. I'm wearing slippers. Yeah. So my shorts, I can't turn back on the phone. So what do? I go and put the phone in the car outside the club, and then I get back with my friends. I was with my friend. My friend was driving, so I put the phone in the car. I get back there, we're dancing, but you know how it goes. Good friends, my friends that come from Lusaka. Yeah. I've not seen these guys in a minute. No. Just good vibes. There is no beef. There's no negative energy. Just good times. Yeah. So I'm not looking at the time. I'm just having a good time. So after an hour, I told my girlfriend, in an hour I'll be going off. She starts buzzing me. And you know, the more you don't answer, the more in her mind she creates her own stuff. And now, so by the time we're leaving the club at maybe 3, I go touch my phone, bruv. I've got 24 missed calls. And the last one was like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, but that's why it's important. Like, imagine if you had texted her to say, I'm going to be busy with my friends. Just that.
My woman is the type of person.
I'm going to be busy with my friends.
My woman is the type of person who...
You
can't text her that.
Going to use that as a defense mechanism to say, bro, I texted you to say,
I'm
going to be busy with my friend. You mentioned busy, bro. So if you're going to have
do you even just drinking, you know, like if you go out drinking, because my woman doesn't drink, you go out drinking on a Friday. Like she calls you, she's like, I'm in the club.
But
she will not complain. She'll just say, okay, you get on with her. And then the next day, maybe she calls you like, yeah. She'll just lower for you. She'll be like, so this is what you've just decided to do with your life. I'm like, no, you need to be responsible.
Okay, I think.
But I love her. Cheers to you. Shout out to you.
To my part, like, it's good to just give a heads up. Because to some extent, you know the kind of person you are when you're out. And you know how it's going to end. At the end of the day, you're like, you're not going to be that.
Okay, I feel like I concur with you when you say we need to let our partners know what we're doing, what we're up to. But I want to find out this. Do you think marriage is still an option worth taking in our generation? Like, do you think it's still necessary to marry someone? When you look around at how many marriages are failing, do you think we still need to do that?
Yeah, you're obviously going to do that one day, bro. Like, it's necessary, but it has to be.
Looking at how many marriages are failing, man. Don't you think that a man doesn't benefit anything from marriage?
But really? Are you looking at your marriage failing already? You haven't even started that, bro. So I can say.
Like, I'm not wishing my marriage to fail. But then again, I'm not going to be blind to the fact, things that I'm seeing.
You are looking at a certain perspective of that. You're only talking about marriages.
Look at these girls.
Those marriages that are still running. Like,
yes,
I know a lot of marriages that are still running strong up
Most
to now,
of those marriages that are still running is they fight. They just are not. None of them is bold enough to tell themselves or tell their partner to say this shit is not working. It's time I went my separate way. Yeah, I feel like we've reached a point. Yeah. I feel like we've reached a point in our civilization as humans, and I'll still bring it back to what I said earlier on about social media. Social media has deluded people.
Too much.
What do I mean? There are girls who are a 4 who think they're a 10. Yeah. Like you're a 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 4. But because of what she's been feeding herself on social media and because of simps, guys that inflate certain women's egos. Quite about guy walk to that. Is simping too much? I'm telling you, these simps have like really ruined the game.
Yeah.
So social media, because this girl, a lot of simps are in her inbox, a lot of guys with low self-esteem are in her inbox. They are worshipping the feet on which she walks. She gets this deluded view of the world. She starts thinking she is who she's not. She thinks she's a 10 when she's a 4.
But
so what happens to those girls? They have this attitude. And believe you me, no man who has worked hard, diligently and worked hard to put himself in a position where he has got some financial independence and has got some power will take such behavior. Well, I can't work hard to only be disrespected by a girl. Like, why?
It's not done, bro.
So that's why most girls are not getting married is because of social media, because of the likes. They don't know that most of these guys who are liking your pictures are just thirsty. They just want to hit and run. It's not that they would stay with you. So certain attention that girls get is because these guys are just thirsty. Because you are putting out thirst traps. There are these girls who dress provocatively on social media, on TikTok, they're dancing, they're shaking their behinds. It's to trap niggas. So niggas will see that thirst trap, will get trapped because of that. Once they hit, they're not going to stay. Because most of these girls come a package where she looks pretty, she's bleached her skin, she's taken this Puzet, she looks nice from the outside. But once you get to know her, there's no substance.
Yeah, man, that's how it.
Most of these girls have no substance. They're just a pretty face, no substance.
Just ends on the content.
Yeah, man. Like okay, let's take away the beauty. What's left? And boy, they don't say to a club and sometimes you want to be with somebody you can talk to, somebody you can share your plans with, somebody that can mentor you. You need a woman who works it's not a rough idea.
Yeah, that's why.
Baby, I 50 pin. You explain that to her, right? And then as you sit down and now look at and break it down and get in depth with it. Yeah. You get in depth with it. But in our generation, it's very difficult. And you and me, looking at the age at which we are, most of our peers are married.
True.
Most of our peers are married. So no matter our age, do you find somebody who is 30 who's not married, who is single, or do you start looking at the 22-year-olds? What do you do at our age? Because a girl who is 30, 31, I'm not saying everybody. Don't crucify me.
Yeah, you're right.
But most of the time, imagine a 33-year-old person. You get to think,
all of the years, man. But to some extent, that's normal these days because of what we're going through. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone, like if you say Chola, Pepeke Chola, everyone is right now in the hustle. Everyone doesn't have to be the males, females.
But most of these women, you know how they're asking, right?
Yeah.
They're flipping their bodies. Do you think that's a legitimate hustle? Selling your body? Exchange of sex for money?
It's not a legitimate hustle, bro. It's never been a legitimate hustle.
Would you look down on a girl who confidently goes out there, puts her body on the line to try and make a buck or two?
I wouldn't look down on that person because, first of all, I don't even know the reason why that person is doing that.
Okay.
It might be that there's some amount of pressure that person is going through, and the only way that they can reduce that pressure is by doing that.
You really believe that's the only way?
I don't believe that's the only way, but
sometimes
when it comes to that, people might think that to be their only way out.
Yeah.
This is real life. If you don't do that, you're not going to have what you want. And we're just talking about this content and thing, you're obviously going to have to maintain a certain standard, whether it's online or offline.
Yeah, man.
You know how it is. You're going to maintain a certain standard. So if you find that if you're really not moving at the same pace with what you're doing, you're going to realize to say, I need to step up my game.
But how do you step up? For a girl, it means going out there to sell. And do you know the funny thing?
According to your question,
do you know
that's
the
how
funny
I'm answering.
Do you know the funny thing about selling?
Yeah.
In Insta, it has become so obvious that just recently, somebody added me in a WhatsApp group where girls post themselves to say, hey, I'm in Chalala.
Mm-hmm.
She posted pictures of herself. Like, there is that going on online where people are selling people, bruv. People, they call it the most weird and most random time.
You know exactly what you're falling into, but you fall into that same trap. That's what's happening these days, man.
Can you be with somebody that is from that life? Let's say you meet a girl, you like her, she says she's changed, but she used to sell. Would you be with her?
I would say, honestly, if I didn't know anything about that.
No, she opens up. You meet her, she's a good person, you start getting to know her, but before it gets deep, she just comes out to you openly and tells you.
With my kind of personality, I would honestly say no. Bro.
But what if she's changed? You don't believe people will change?
I believe people change, but me taking that as an option.
You
get change is going to be there, but me taking that as an option is like for me, because statistics show that I have 5 girls according to statistics. The women are more than the men.
Yeah.
So I think I have more advantages than that one person.
That way of thinking is why we're having so many divorces. If all of us men start thinking that we've got so many options and that we can be with whoever we want to be with, that's why men are not committing. That's why I'm telling you, it is not very smart for you as a man to get married. You can be with a girl, even for your whole life. You don't have to call her your wife. She can be your partner. She can come live with you.
But
so that pressure, it's easy to get rid of her. She will not get half of your stuff. But if she's your wife, you tied the knot and still you've got kids with her, she's going to get half of your wealth. And some of these girls, I'm not saying every girl is after that, but 90% of these girls, especially the new ones, the modern ones, but two pin coming this side, that's the energy they are on. But they will show you love, get pregnant with you, start misbehaving, you'll be forced to kick her out of the house. When you kick her out of the house, she will sue you. When she sues you, you will be put on child support for the next 18 years. She'll get half of your property, and then she'll start sleeping with other people. True. So for them, it's a hassle. That's why, as a man, you have to be smart enough. Like, be careful. Watch these things. Yeah, see with your eyes, not your heart. Think with your brain, not your heart.
You're obviously going to have a reason for getting married, bro. You're going to have a reason.
I've looked at every reason, and none of them make sense.
That's according to you.
Yes. Let me tell you this. But you can always have a girl. You don't have to have a wife. You can always have a woman.
That always is not coming with a commitment.
Why are you committing to people who are not committed to you? Why are you setting yourself up to fail? Zero, you've cohabited. You almost married.
Yeah.
It didn't end well. I didn't want us to talk about this, but fuck it. It didn't end well. Mm-hmm. You've had that experience. First time I met you with your madam, things were amazing the first time I met you as a couple. How things went from such an amazing thing to whatever happened.
Now.
To whatever happened. You would want to put yourself in that position again. Because your madam, at first, before things went the way they did, it was a good relationship.
Very sweet.
Yes. That's why you moved together. You nearly got married.
Yeah.
And then look at what happened. How it disintegrated.
Okay, according to me, I would say I learned something out of that.
What did you learn?
But, let me just finish up on this one.
Yes,
but when you're good, I wouldn't take the negative side of what happened.
You try and focus on the positives.
I would try and focus on the positive.
Do you see you and your baby mama ever getting back together?
Yeah, it's not happening, bro.
What if she said, let's open a new page. We've got a kid. It's not okay. Let's be together and be parents. We had our issues. We met when we were young. We went our separate ways. We've been away for a long enough time. We've been with other people. It's not working. But you and I, we already have something. There is no possibility you guys getting back together.
No, there's no possibility. Because I've moved on from that. I've moved on, bro. That would mean a lot of changes, bro. Yeah. A lot of changes.
And it's not worth it right now.
Right now, I wouldn't disclose a lot, but I would just generally say
it's better off if you just keep things the way they are.
Just like you said,
for all the parties involved.
You say you are going to have a woman, right?
Yeah.
Not marry the woman, but just be with the woman.
Yeah.
And then
just
when
in
case it doesn't
work,
you no longer want to be with that woman.
I can just
you let her go, leave. Then look at my situation. Is it not similar to what you just said?
Yeah. So I learn from my people around me. Like, boys are blanda pango.
So in a 30
But
do you also get the positive part of what that situation
No.
brought about?
I just look at the negatives and tell myself, KIP, be smart. Don't get caught up in this.
Yeah. But from what you experienced initially, you learn something.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be easy for you to recognize, the red flags in your next relationship. So I think from that, it's going to be much easier for you to understand some things and for you to improve on some things.
If you could advise your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
I would say when it comes to relationships, right? Relationships are good, bro. I can't lie to you. It's good to be in a relationship. You just maintain that. And the only part I would say that, really, really messes up things is when you have someone that does not understand. Because the main reason why I had issues
with your madam,
with most of the women, I wouldn't say my madam.
I don't know why.
Most of the women that I'm banged with.
Your madam is my friend, and you are my friend. Like, both of you guys are my friends. So she's going to be like, why am I going to separate you? No, if she sees this.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not really trying to focus.
We're not trying to put her on the spotlight, but we're just trying to help our brothers, our young people out there, people our age, older people. It's us one grind. We're trying to get to the bag. Because without the money, as a man, you're nothing. And sometimes why people fail to get to the bag is the women that they keep around. Is the fact that they spend so much of their energy and their time on trying to please a woman, on trying to get a woman. Not understanding that even if you get her, if you are broke, she's going to leave you, bruv.
Exactly.
So let them, the money first. Where the money is, the women will find themselves there.
Exactly.
You don't even have to know how to talk to girls. Just be rich enough, get a brand new Mercedes, have a big house, throw parties. Best of the best will pull up.
Everything is going to be easy for you.
Yeah, man.
Like that. Yeah. So, women and money go along. They're like this. Like that. But again, for you to get that time to make that money that woman wants, bro, that's where the struggle is. That's where the struggle. To get the money and to get the woman is an easy thing.
When I was in grade 10 in 2007.
But to maintain both.
Yeah, man. When I was in grade 10 in 2007, I made a bet to myself. I made a promise to myself. I was going to be a millionaire in dollars. That's when I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
Like today, I may be open. Why I'm not married is that I never saw my million.
Yeah.
There are things that have happened in my life that made me realize money is very important, and without money, there can only be confusion. So for me, I gave myself in my head $1 million. But I've been hustling. The last 10 years, I've really worked every single day.
Yeah, man.
Boy, when
it comes to the hustle,
but boy,
hustle
1 million,
big time, bro. 1 million at
but
coming.
But anyway, Zero. We said we were going to do 30 minutes. It's already 30 minutes. We'll continue
like
this podcast.
5 minutes,
we're going to do this podcast again. So this is Us One Grind. This is my brother, friend of mine, long time. We are on the streets trying to get this money, trying to get this back, trying to stack it up. So if you want to be on the podcast, you know the dealio. Comment down there. You can drop us a text message. It's your boy DJ Keep Classic. Until the next time.